This growing season has certainly been a challenging one for cotton growers here in Georgia, as producers continue to get hit with one challenge after another, time and time again. However, according to Camp Hand, Extension cotton specialist, despite those difficulties, the crop still is turning out to be a great one.
Up until now, I mean, the crop looks really good. You know, it seems like we've been getting what we need in most places. Some of it, you know, that June spell may hit a little harder than others. Some of our earlier planted dry land, really in the middle part of the state, probably suffered a little bit more from that dry June than other places. But the crop, I think, is looking really good.
Of course, a big concern is the effect of Hurricane Debby. However, according to Hand, though there were some direct losses, the crop fared the storm well, as the bolls on the plants hadn't opened just yet. However, his biggest concern is the fact that some producers are not able to get equipment back into their fields, which will hinder their ability to manage and possibly harvest their crop.
I think there's definitely some direct losses, but the thing that concerns me a little bit more are the indirect losses from delays being able to get in the field, from dirt roads being washed out and stuff like that. And I mean, we're definitely going to be delayed getting back in the field, and then also, you know, it could take until harvest. And you know, the good news is that one, you know, wasn't quite as bad as most people thought, but the bad news is we're still in August and we got us a long way to go.
Another concern growers are dealing with are pests, specifically boll feeding ones such as stink bugs, that can do a lot of damage this time of year when the plant is most susceptible.
Stink bugs are the primary boll feeding bug, but we also need to be aware that there are other bug species that can do similar injury. One that's we're seeing a little more frequently for this late in the season is tarnished plant bug and clouded plant bug. But they'll also feed on these developing bolls. But you know, we have a dynamic threshold, but when we're in that third, fourth, and fifth week of bloom, and a lot of cotton is in that time frame where it's most susceptible or most sensitive to yield loss from these boll feeding bugs.
Robert says one other pest to be concerned about is the silverleaf whitefly. As he says they do well in drought conditions, growers here in Georgia saw earlier this summer and need to be dealt with in a timely manner.
June was a very dry month, and silverleaf whitefly really does well during dry conditions. Thankfully, we started receiving rainfall in July, but whitefly numbers did kind of get a foot in the door. But we do want to remind growers, when you see a few whiteflies in the field, they should influence every decision you make.
Reporting in Tifton for the Farm Monitor, I'm John Holcomb.